Hello world, welcome back to my channel. My name's Paul. Today we're heading down to Esperance, or tonight. It's about 6 o'clock. Right now I'm at Janet's work. She's about to come out that door any minute. My cousins own a pub that's about a third of the way down to Esperance, so a couple hours drive. We're going to head there tonight and then down to Esperance in the morning. But for now, let's roll the intro. Hey guys, Janet ended up working pretty late. It's having 5 days off. She had to make sure everything was ready, so it's about 9:30. We've been driving for an hour and a half. We've still got an hour to go, but that's alright. This is my favourite thing to do, is driving. I was just telling Janet when I was a little kid and we'd drive down here, I'd be vomiting. I had really bad car sickness, and now the road's my favourite place to be. But anyway, I'll stick the GoPro on the front and hopefully you'll be able to see a bit in the headlights. Maybe see a kangaroo or two. We've seen a couple already. But for now, I'll say goodbye. Well, we made it. It's about 11 o'clock. Pub's across the road. This is an old house that was across the road, and it's owned by the cousins own this as well. They rent it out as shearers' quarters during the season, but for today it's empty. We've got it to ourselves. So, there's probably 7 or 8 people sitting in the pub in a town with a population of 7. And it's 11 o'clock at night. That place gets packed every Friday and Saturday night, and there's 7 people live in this town. And that includes my cousin and his wife and their 2 bar staff. So it's a lot of the other towns around here. Big towns, you might have 10,000 people, and their pubs are battling to make a living. These guys are doing really, really well. I'm happy. So I'll give you a bit of a tour tomorrow when it's daylight. But for now, I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, Janet's still fast asleep. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I put the drone up, got a few photos and things, but it's so cold the drone keeps playing up. So I'll give you a bit of a look around where we are. Guys, I just realised I haven't told you where we are. This is Harrismith. The pub's called the Oasis Hotel. My mum was born in Tincurran, which is, I'm terrible on distances, but maybe 20 kilometres that way. And my granddad's farm is about maybe 10 kilometres that way. So this is where I spent a lot of my school holidays, in the bar here. My mum was a very progressive woman back in the 60s, 70s, and back in those days, women weren't allowed in public bars. They had a ladies' lounge out the back. It was illegal for them to go into public bars. So us kids were allowed to run around with the men, but she had to sit in the room out the back. She wasn't very happy about that, I can tell you. But anyway, I'll put the drone up. I'll do a few things now, and then we'll hit the road. We're heading for Lake Grace next, and we'll get a bit of footage on the way. No worries, guys. See you later. Hey, we're in the car. We're going to head to Lake Grace now. Then Esperance this afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. It was a late start, but this is such a relaxing little town. We just had breakfast at 11 o'clock, so we're on the road. Hey guys, my whole life I've known this as the fence road, but my GPS has just told me it's the rabbit-proof fence road. So they built in Australia when rabbits are introduced and they're a real pest. So they built these fences to keep them out of farming areas, and the funny thing was the rabbits were so smart they'd just climb up on top of each other and get over the fences. But I wanted to speak about the fence road because it's a dark part of Australia's history, was the stolen generation, and a different rabbit-proof fence that we had heads up towards Walloona in the central desert. And in those days, Aboriginal children that had some white blood, like half caste or quarter caste, were usually taken away from their families and put into schools, and it was supposedly to give them an education and give them a good white life, but basically it was just a legal slave trade. It's a very, very dark part of our history, and if you want to get an idea of what it is, there's a movie called The Rabbit Proof Fence, an Australian movie, and that was about three anyway, you'll know the number if you watch the movie, and they were taken away from their families and they escaped from New Norcia, which is just maybe 50 kilometres from Perth, and they followed the rabbit proof fence all the way to Walloona. It's really quite an amazing story. So yeah, the rabbit proof fence, have a look. Oh, we were driving down the road. I forgot to grab some honey from home. We've got our own hive, but we saw a sign on the road saying honey, so we stopped in here. This is Cambanata Yabbies, and it's a big yabby farm. And there used to be a show on maybe 15 years ago called Desperately Seeking Sheila. It was one of those, the original like Farmer Wants a Wife and things, those dating shows, and I recognised this place and I said, you weren't on TV years ago? And they said, yes, that was our son. So it's a small world, but they've got the most delicious honey. They've got, we're about to go and see the Yabbies. I'll film a bit of the Yabbies for you, and they've got rooms down the road and everything. I'll put a link down below, but it's well worth coming having a look here, guys, if you're in the area.
Well, this is a Yabby processing plant. We started this 31 years ago, and we've been working ever since, but this is the worst period we've ever been because there's such a drought and such a shortage of water in our farms that there's no Yabbies. The difference between a Yabby and a Kunak, the Yabby is an eastern states crustacean that has been introduced here for a long time into Western Australia, and as you can see it's got two big nippers. The identification is a little bit of hair growing in there, and that's there, and that identifies a Yabby.
And are they happy living in a big thing like that?
Yeah. Now this is quite a normal catch for Yabbies. These guys, we can send them almost anywhere in the world because they're a temperate crustacean. They're not tropical. You can actually put them in an aeroplane and they'll survive. So there you are. That's the sort of thing that we've been doing for a long, long time.
Hey guys, right behind me is the Newdegate silos. There's maybe 7 or 8 towns hiding down to Ravensthorpe that have done their silos like this, but people consider this one of the best. Hello, do a bit of a room tour. It's the morning now. Couldn't be bothered doing it last night. As you can see, Janet's still in bed, but I'm making her a coffee. That's the kettle boiled, so I'll go and make her coffee and I'll give you a bit of a room tour. Here's our bed with my lovely wife. We've got a bit of a couch here and the table. Everyone talks about editing at the table, but I'll be doing all our editing in that bed. And we've got the TV here, which to me is pretty important. I like my TV, don't I, Janet? And a little sort of kitchen with a microwave, kettle and a toaster and a fridge. And then into the bathroom. We've got the sink. And me, hello. Nice shower. And of course, the toilet. Morning guys, Esperance. What a beautiful spot. I came out a bit early this morning to put the drone up. Janet's still in bed. But when I got down to the bay down here, I'd forgotten my phone. So I went back to my room, and by the time I got back here, the half an hour in between, a massive storm's come up. So I'm gonna have to come out early in the morning and try catching some whales. But for now, I'll give you a bit of a sweep of the area. Well, we're down the beach. We thought we'd seen a whale, but it wasn't a whale, it was just a reef. But we'll keep on driving and we'll see. But isn't this place just beautiful? Hey guys, out hunting whales again. Janet's still in bed. Well, she was when I left. I left about 7:30. It's 8:45 now. Nothing yet, as you can probably see. It's freezing out here. But I'm gonna get back on the road and try and find you some whales. But it's just amazing here, whether I find any or not. What a beautiful way to spend the morning. Hey guys, I'm at the Esperance wind farm now. Still chasing whales, but I thought I'd pull in here and show you. There's the turbine behind me here. There's been a lot of talk over the years about how much pollution these guys produce and how much power it takes to actually produce them in the first place compared with what they save. But we had the same discussion about solar panels in the 80s, and if people aren't using the technology, then there's no incentive for companies to be spending money on it. So I think this is a great start, and we need more of it. Well guys, that was pretty exciting. I got a heap of footage for you. There's a whale just off the coast here. I don't think we'll pick it up with this camera, but I got a heap of drone footage. Ran out of batteries, so she came home by herself, the drone. But I just want to get out there and film some more, but there's no need, there's plenty there. So I'm going to go home and make you guys a movie. Hey, just around us here, this is the original township of Esperance. I'll do a quick walk around in a minute. As you can see now, I'm in a t-shirt, no beanie. It's changed a bit in the last couple of hours. Beautiful day. And we just had lunch at the Museum Village Cafe. I had an omelette. It was so big, got half of it in a takeaway container, and it was delicious. Well guys, that really was an exciting few days. Seeing those whales was unbelievable. Where we're staying, you can see the sign behind me, is the Bayview Motel. Nice comfy spot. I'll put links to everywhere in the description, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below. Give me a big thumbs up, maybe say hello in the comments, and we'll see you next time.